Website W receives orders for its products every day. What is the standard deviation of the numbers of orders that website W received daily for the past 5 days? Okay, so they don't really tell us anything about our orders, so let's look at the statement. Statement 1 says the average number of orders that website W received per day for the past 5 days is equal to the greatest number of orders that website W received daily for the past 5 days. So what does this look like? So here they're saying the average for the number of orders that website received is equal to the greatest number. So let's say the greatest number of orders I received for any of these days is 10. And they're saying our average is also equal to 10. So what is the easiest way I can think of to get the average equal to the greatest number of orders is to just make every day the same. Say on every day they received 10 orders. So in this case, what would this mean? This would mean you have a standard deviation of 0 if all of your numbers are the same. And it also means, so in this case, your average is going to be equal to the max number of orders they received on any day. It's also going to be equal to the minimum number of orders they received on any day because they're all the same. But your standard deviation here is going to be 0. So then the question becomes, so is there a way to get this same scenario? We can even use the same numbers. So let's say we start with a max orders of 10. Can I get the same scenario where the average is equal to is also equal to 10, but my standard deviation is equal to something other than 0? And the only way to get a standard deviation of 0 is to have all of your numbers in your set be equivalent. So if we can come up with any mix here, it can be, we got 4 values that are equivalent and then 1 that is different. If we could come up with any sort of mix that is anything other than all of them being equivalent, that set will have a standard deviation other than 0. So is that possible? So let's think about for a second what average is. Average is sum over the number of terms, right? So in this case, it will be the sum of your terms over 5, because we have 5 days, right? And we're saying we want our average to be equal to 10, and so that means our sum has to be equal to 50. So if we're saying the max number of orders that we have for any given day is equal to 10, what that means is the rest of our days has to sum to 40. Now remember, we cannot go over 10 for any given day because we want 10 to be the highest number. Is it possible for these 4 days here to sum to 40 without going over 10 for any of them and without making them all the same, which would all be 10? So even if I were to say this day here is also 10, this day here is also 10, this day here is also 10, well, I can't make this day here 9 because that wouldn't sum to 40. So there is no mix that we can do here that will get our sum to 50 while keeping all of our orders at 10 or under. The only way to do that is to make them all equal to 10. And so this is impossible, this scenario. This is your only possibility. And so this statement here is sufficient. Statement 2 says the range of the number of orders that website W received daily for the past 5 days is equal to 0. What is range? Range is your highest number minus your lowest. So in this case, what does this mean? This means if your highest value is equal to your lowest, so we can reuse this example, my 10 was my highest number and 10 was my lowest number of orders for any given day. Well, all your numbers in between have to be the same thing. You can't have anything higher or lower than 10. So they're saying all of your numbers for every day really are equivalent. So it doesn't have to be 10. It could be all 20s. But if the range is equal to 0, that's they're basically telling you all of your numbers have to be the same. If the highest number is equal to the lowest, then all the numbers in between also have to be equivalent. So if all of your numbers are the same, that is another way of just saying you have a standard deviation of 0. And so that is the only possibility here. So that is also sufficient, and D is your answer.